What is up, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Beers and. Today, we're going to be talking about Beers and Nicktoons. Not this Nick.
No, not me.
Nope,
the other one.
Not this tune.
Not this
Clown.
cartoonish human being.
You are quite the character.
Oh, I try.
If I must say so myself.
Thank you.
Welcome in, everyone. Welcome back to another episode. Nick and Alex here, as always.
Hello.
Talking Nicktoons today, drinking a very exciting, I would say appropriately themed, or at least colored beer.
I think so.
Yeah. Man, I can't wait to talk about Nicktoons.
I'm so excited.
I'm so
for this.
hyped, but I'm also sad because I know we could talk about so many more.
We'll wind up coming back to this topic.
I think so, too.
Down the line.
I think so too. Everyone, come watch us over at YouTube at Beers and Podcast, or you can come follow us on Instagram at Beers and Podcast. We're on TikTok now.
We are.
Nick's man in the TikTok.
I'm trying.
I think you're doing very well.
Yeah. I'm doing
must
better
say.
than on Instagram, where I put up the most recent reel, both front ways and upside down. Don't know how that happened.
Hey, we growing pains.
Yeah.
Growing pains. And come over to the Twitter, Beers and One, and you guys know, even though nobody contacts us, everything over to the email at beersandpodcast@gmail.com.
Wonderfully done.
Thank you.
Wonderfully done.
I cannot wait to get into this beer, honestly.
I'm excited for this also. I don't think we said the name of it. This is
We did not.
Orange Drank.
Drank.
From Magnify. It is a smoothie sour ale that is done with blood orange, pineapple, banana, and orange soda.
I think this is very aptly picked for this episode.
Absolutely.
Because if y'all remember, who loves orange soda?
Kel, from what I'm told, loves orange soda.
Kel loves orange soda. And
Yeah.
Kel wasn't a Nickelodeon
I wore my orange
character.
My
your
Vans
orange
today.
shoes. Yeah, those I actually saw those when you dropped them off at the door. Those are pretty.
Thanks.
Yeah,
Thanks.
yeah, I like them.
They were on sale.
They were.
Of course they were.
So, you mentioned the beer.
Yes.
But the one thing you didn't say was that this is a collaboration.
Oh, yes. I'm sorry. I apologize.
okay.
I saw that after the fact.
It's Magnify and Urban South. So we have not had an Urban South beer yet.
No.
They are, I would say, right up there with 450 North in the sour beer sector
really?
of
Okay.
of beer. Yeah, they're highly renowned.
So they're trustworthy.
Yeah,
I like that.
Even if they're not, I'm ready to get hurt again.
Listen,
It's fine.
I'm fine with it.
It's fine.
I've had worse things in my life.
I honestly can't wait to get this beer. So I'm just gonna do a quick little roll and we're gonna cap it.
I'm
Crack
excited
it.
for it.
Yeah, me too. So I'm sticking with the topic again.
Okay.
The question of the day:
Please.
if you could jump into any of the lives of a Nicktoon, who would it be?
Oh my goodness. If I could jump into the lives of
Just assume their, persona, go on about your daily life as...
Oh.
That's a hard one.
Oh yeah.
There's so many to
I
pick from.
wasn't expecting this.
You could go... yeah, that's a good question, right?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Oh.
It's so orange.
I don't know.
Oh my God, it's so orange.
Who would I want to be? I mean, everybody and nobody. Hey, Arnold.
Everybody and
Arnold.
nobody.
Arnold
Arnold's a good
had
one.
such a cool, if anything, bedroom. He had the coolest
Yes.
bedroom in the world.
Yes,
He listened
100%.
to jazz.
Yep.
They were all city kids. He had a crush on a girl that looked like the little Paulina girl. Yeah, I would say Hey Arnold.
Okay.
Yeah, and he's, I think, one of the more redeemable characters. Like
I
his
think that's
life,
a solid choice.
yeah, like his life never seemed as
I did it again.
difficult. That's fine.
I'm not a good pourer today.
Don't forget, I have to drive. I'm a driver.
Okay.
So I can
That's
live
fair.
with that. Yeah.
That's fair.
Yeah, like a lot of the other Nicktoons characters that I was even going through my mind where I was like, they've got a lot of like hardships that I wouldn't ever want to have to
Yeah,
endure.
yeah.
And while he does,
Definitely.
what with, his parents being all dead, not dead, and,
Sure.
and some of the crazy, folks in the boarding house, what with, Mr. Kakashka and
Mr. Kakashka.
you keep the money.
What was the... keep the money.
You get say
the
it
money.
again, Oscar. Say it again. You keep the money.
What was the mailman's name?
Oh God.
Do you remember the?
He was the one from
episode?
Vietnam, wasn't he?
He had like the most beautiful singing voice.
He did, and I just remember that they did an entire episode. Oh my God, I can't believe I'm tapping into this.
Good.
They did an entire episode on that. He gave his daughter up to be like the last flight out of Saigon when Saigon was falling.
Yep.
What a fucking topical
what a touching show.
What a topical episode,
Very touching
dude.
show.
I knew more about the Vietnam War and the failures of the American military invasion from Hey Arnold than I did from public school
Didn't
at the
he
time.
make like lemonade or like crispy chicken or something?
Something like that.
Right?
Yeah.
Those two things are opposite ends of the spectrum, but hey,
Oh,
whatever.
wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Callback.
Well, because I think I always just loved it because to me, Kakashka always sounded like potato knish.
Take the money.
Yeah.
You take the money.
Keith, you take the money. Say it again, Oscar. Say it again. You take the money. Let's all hold hands.
It's so good.
Here
Wow,
on the subway.
That's one show with like morals. And, and you know,
100%.
a lesson.
Absolutely.
A life lesson every episode.
Absolutely.
Love those shows.
Whose life would you jump into?
Spoiler alert, one of the shows I'm going to dive into a little bit later, Danny Phantom.
Never saw one episode. I'm
That's
not
a shame.
familiar with it at all.
That's a shame.
I thought we were older by the time that had come out.
We were a little older.
Yeah?
I'll get into it later when it
Okay.
came out, but great show.
Yeah.
And I mean, like, to be a ghost.
Yeah.
Be a ghost human hybrid.
All right.
All about that.
We did hear from some folks that did respond to us.
Yeah.
This is a change, folks. We actually go ahead and got a bit of a response.
It's the TikTok.
It's the TikTok. This was on the Instagram too, as well.
TikTok
so we
opens
did
up
hear,
doors.
We had one response that was Rocket Power, duh, or obviously, and SpongeBob. So we did get those two
great picks.
Yeah, Rocket Power was always an interesting one to me because I think I always found it to be so implausible. But I was like, they think they're so good.
Who was it? Tito, right?
Tito
And
Man.
Ray.
Yeah.
And Ray was their dad?
Wiki. Yeah. Oh my God. I am tapping into some recesses of my brain. And Squid.
Yep.
Yeah.
Twister. Reggie.
Yes. Oh my God.
Yeah. When
Wow.
I brought this up to Christina, the first one she said was Rocket Power.
Really?
And like actually we do the woogity woogity like
Woogity,
me and
woogity,
her and I do
woogity.
that like all the time. We've done it I think ever since we started dating.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it's great.
That's a good one.
Yeah, it's great.
This is.
It looks like orange soda.
This is so fun.
Just
like
orange.
It's
just orange.
orange.
Yeah.
I love this. Does it?
I can smell the banana.
And I can smell the banana, but that nice orange
I think I
banana.
can smell the orange soda too.
And it's not. We were discussing this before, but it's not a creamsicle smell.
No.
It does not have that
no
vanilla
Nope.
aspect to it.
The
Ooh,
blood orange though.
I want to try it so bad.
Yeah, I'm hyped.
Oh my God. Tell me you can't picture opening up a bottle of banana orange V8 juice, pouring yourself
Sure.
a big cup, sitting down and watching some of these cartoons at one point.
You know what's weird? It's like
Wow.
Tang's older, cooler cousin.
Yes.
That is what this is. This is like kind of punchy in the front, like with the blood orange, but not tart though.
It's not tart at all, which I feel like I want. I feel like I want it to be a little bit more sour. I want just maybe a little bit more
Just
of
a
that
little.
pucker, because I'm not getting
Man.
too much of it at all. That's fun.
You know what it is? The orange soda.
It's
so
sun-kissed.
it's so sweet.
It
Yeah.
is. It is
Yeah.
sun-kissed.
We talked
through
about
and
this
through.
off air. How did they get away with the sun-kissed branding?
Right, but look at that. Look at that. And if you can't look at that, go to the YouTube page.
If I
and then
can't
look
rip
at that.
off Wikipedia,
Right. Well, I mean,
they shouldn't be able to rip off Sunkist.
I mean, we're allowed to.
I mean,
We just can't say that it's our own.
plagiarizing, not plagiarizing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As long as we give credit where credit is
This
due.
is really weird because the banana and the orange soda are like the weirdest combination, but they work.
You see, I think that they work a lot better than I would imagine. I'm not getting too much of this pineapple flavor, to be perfectly
A little
honest
bit
with you.
right in the front, but
Yeah.
it's very artificial. It's
I've
almost
only
like
had-
pineapple juice.
I've only had the one sip, so.
Right in the front. Like right after you get that initial rush of like orangey tang, you get a little bit of it's almost like in the upper palate.
If you almost take like that inhale to just
Yeah.
before
Yep.
you take
You
a
need a
sip,
little air.
you get a That is so much fun. Oh,
Man,
I'm like giddy.
Man, this is good. I don't know if I would ever be able to tell this is blood orange, though. I'm really just nitpicking at this point. Like,
I mean,
this is a great beer.
I've had blood oranges. I don't think I've had them enough to be able to say like, oh, that's definitely a blood orange compared to a navel.
I've only ever had the blood orange, like Italian soda.
Right. And that's what it's got, that same sort of flavor.
It does. You know what? It does have that. Mm-hmm. It does have that.
Oh, this is so much. And you know what? I was surprised. It is only a 5% ABV.
Yeah. You know, usually like Magnify or no, that's a lie. 450 North for sure.
Always a little bit on the lower side.
Yep. And Urban South, I've only had a couple from them, but I found that they're lower too.
You know what's nice is that you might think that based on the font and even the description of it, that it's a little kitschy. It's not.
No, it's not.
And I think very similar to, if you guys go back and even check, from our last episode, this isn't terribly sweet. I would expect
At first.
Yeah.
It is. And then it like the banana totally mellows it out.
I would have thought that it was going to be a little bit
me too,
sweeter. I was going to get that like, oh, I don't like this. I can feel I'm going to, catch the sugars. But that's not the case at all.
No. And Urban South, I mean, they're well known for balanced beers. So
I'm impressed.
This is super good.
Hits on all cylinders.
Yeah, I agree.
And I can have more than one.
Yeah?
I don't know if I'd have more than two.
It's too sweet to have more than two.
Yes.
It's not sweet, but just too sweet to have too much more than, I think, two. I think
like
two
that.
is a solid.
I think so.
You know what? Like, you know what this is? I feel like we're hanging out, right? We're not partying. We're not playing drinking games, and we're chilling. We're going to have a nice dinner.
Yeah.
This is my aperitif.
Yeah, I was going to say this was before we just got to the barbecue. It's about, maybe someone's going to fire it up in a little bit. It's about 3 o'clock-ish. Everyone's kind of just, oh, hey, what's going on? How are you? How you been? Do you still got those kids or whatever?
Small talk time.
Yeah. This is a small talk beer. Because I can have two, and again, at 5% each.
Be totally okay.
Be totally fine.
Yep.
And then be able to function and enjoy the rest of my evening.
I agree. All right.
What are you going to throw on
I'm
it then?
going to say 4.22.
Okay.
Respectable. I don't really know like if I would change anything about this beer.
I was going to say, aside from just a little bit more tart, a little bit more sour.
Yeah.
And I'm going to stick close to you. I'm going to give it a 4 flat because it's good. It matches up to what it needs to be. Good. I don't think, even if you find something similar, I don't think that it's going to be as nuanced and well balanced.
No way.
So that's why I'm going to give it a 4, but not too much higher because it still does have that, I don't like to use the term, but like that kitsch factor.
I'll tell you what, if you pulled this out at a barbecue, like you were talking about before, you'd be the talk of the cooler.
Oh, absolutely.
Because it looks like it's condensating.
Sweating. Yeah, it's sweating just a little bit.
Is condensating a word? I don't know.
Condensing? Condensationing? Condensationing? No?
Definitely not.
Oh.
Too many syllables.
Non-beer drinkers would beer this. Let me say something.
Stick with it.
Even if you're not
Don't
a beer
change it.
drinker, you're gonna beer this. You're gonna beer this drink, and you're gonna beer it over and over.
You just
and over
created
again.
a phrase. I don't know if you want to joke about it or not. But
listen,
congratulations.
I mean, thank you. I'll take it.
You just created an adjective.
You're gonna beer this beer. They're gonna like it.
Do you care if I kick us off?
Take it away.
Okay. So, I went a little off the beaten path as far as like very popular cartoons.
Yes.
I would say. The first one I wanted to talk about is just so fun. It's called Real Monsters.
I forgot about this.
So I had to go back and watch the intro for this because I was like, I don't remember there being a song, like with lyrics and there wasn't.
No, there wasn't.
It's just like a musical video.
Yeah.
But it's kind of creepy. Like, I'm not going to lie to you.
I think I remember there
like eerie music
being a decent amount of like organs-ish type sound. Yeah.
Like, like that weird like dissonance, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so it debuted in 1994.
Oh,
So a while ago.
I didn't realize it was that.
Yeah, we were
old.
We were pretty young when it came out.
Yeah, I guess I don't think I remember watching it then. Maybe until like into its later seasons, perhaps.
For sure.
Yeah,
for sure. So this one always kind of stood out to me because I think it's kind of unique in its ways. It's essentially a comedy horror.
Oh yeah,
Animated show.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. 1994, created by Gaber Casupo.
Okay.
CSUPO.
CSUPO.
Casupo.
I would just say Supo, probably.
Supo?
Yeah.
Gaber Supo and Peter Gaffney.
That's Jeff Nay. No, I don't know. I was just being a dick at that point. I don't know. Just beer your beer and shut up, Nick.
So this premiered on October 29th, which I think is fantastic,
super appropriate.
Fantastic planning for this show. It aired for 52 episodes over 4 seasons, exactly 13 a season, and it culminated with the finale on December 6th, 1997.
Okay.
So it didn't run that long. The majority of the show revolves around the lives of 3 young monsters. Ickis, Abelina.
Abelina.
I always forget her name.
Oh, I did too.
Always forget her name. And Crumb.
I just remember that she used to call Ickis Icky.
Yeah.
Oh,
so
Icky.
and trust me, we're gonna get the pictures up for you guys who haven't seen this because great show.
Maybe they'll be right around here.
Yeah, somewhere around this area,
around
around this general vicinity.
I haven't put the beer down at this point.
That's okay. I wouldn't
It's
put it down
delicious.
either if I didn't have to talk. So apparently this show is set in Manhattan, as there are shots of the Empire State Building. The individual subway system is also seen before it was incorporated into the Underground Railway. But not only that, there's an episode called Monster Makeover where Ickis proclaims he is, and I quote, the ugliest, slimiest monster menace this side of Newark.
Oh, no way. Really?
Yeah.
Challenge accepted, Ickis.
And challenge lost,
Challenge
my friend.
accepted.
So during the day, just like any other youngster, they attend school.
Oh, my God.
It's monster school. And their school is held underneath the city garbage dump.
Yeah.
It's in the sewers. They take the sewers to class. So hysterically enough, at school, they learn to frighten humans. They learn how to frighten humans. And even like going as far as these are their assignments for school. To go out and scare humans. So most of the episodic plots are actually centric to the monsters like escaping up through the sewer and then going to scare a human.
Love it.
I would love to get into episodes. I'm not going to do them justice.
Can I ask you real quick?
Yeah.
Because I don't remember. What was the teacher's name?
Oh, I have it written down. The Grumble.
Oh my God.
The Grumble.
Grumble.
I'm about to talk to him. I'm about to talk to him. Yeah. No, that was the Snorch. Who just mumbled and nobody could understand.
No, I thought that I remember the teacher doing that also because I just remember that he would walk around in his red shoes, red high heel shoes the entire time.
Maybe I just don't remember that. Yes, he had 4 legs. Each foot had a red stiletto.
Yeah.
Yes. Wow. Yes. So like I said, I'm not going to do the episodes justice. So really what I wanted to do was just like get into the characters, give you guys a little bit of background. So Ickis, I'm going to start with him. Probably my favorite.
Oh, yeah.
As a youngster, 100%. All of these character bios are from Wikipedia. So if you have a problem, take it up with them.
And while you're there, throw them a couple bucks.
Oh, yeah. Definitely.
They rely...
They work faux free.
They work faux free. We rely on them. You sure as shit know that you rely on them.
Yeah.
I know you do. Students in my class who don't think that Turnitin and plagiarism is a something that I can detect.
It's fine. But you can detect it very easily.
Very easily.
Yeah.
Anywho.
Ickis was voiced by Charlie Adler. Mm-hmm. Charlie Adler is best known for his roles as Buster Bunny on Tiny Toons.
Oh.
And also as Ed and Bev Bighead on Rocco's Modern Life. Maybe something we'll talk about in a little bit.
Perhaps. I don't know.
So Ickis is a small purple monster who is often mistaken for a rabbit due to his large ears.
The ears.
He is the son of Slickus, a famous scarer. He seems the most skittish of the monsters, but is also a very capable leader. Ickis looms, so like looming is his power. All it means is that he grows in size, so he becomes super giant to scare, and comes from a long line of loomers.
Interesting. I didn't know that it was called looming.
Looming, yeah, I didn't know that either. Ickis' constant goofing off and blatant disregard for rules are usually the focal point and source of his group's troubles, which we know. Another running gag in the series is that Ickis nearly exposes the monster world, which he does a lot,
Right.
to humans accidentally, which spells certain doom for the monsters. Do you remember Oblina?
Yeah.
You do.
She had big red
giant
lips,
red lips,
and she would like turn. She was black and white striped.
How it's described here, which I think is perfect, is a black and white striped reverse candy cane.
Oh yeah. Oh wow. I didn't even think about that.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's 100% correct.
Do you remember the episode where she gets her lips stolen by the little girl?
Oh my god.
I was thinking about it when I was looking it up. I was like,
Oh my
yeah.
god, that's right.
Yeah. Okay.
Holy hell.
So she's a black and white striped monster. She's from a wealthy monster family.
That's why she speaks like that.
And she's considered by the Grumble, so the teacher, to be his best student. She's the daughter of an overbearing mother named Sublima, whom she refers to as Mumsy. I can't do the
Mumsy.
Yeah, Mumsy Dearest. I can't do the accent.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
One of her favorite methods of scaring humans is reaching within herself and pulling out her internal organs. Lots of fun. And she has considerable talent for shape-shifting, if you remember, into various terrifying forms. She also, and I don't remember this from the show, can give humans nightmares by like tickling their brain while they sleep. I don't remember
vaguely remember the ability to like go into their brains.
Yeah, I don't know. And the big red lips, like you said. So apparently Christine Cavanaugh, who voiced Oblina, she attempted to make the voice sound like a British version of Agnes Moorehead, who I'm not entirely familiar with.
Why does that sound so familiar?
I looked up her wiki bio, and it wasn't anything that I knew.
No?
So I left her out.
Okay.
Agnes Moorehead, 2 O's and more.
Okay.
So Crumb, probably my favorite looking of the monsters. He's an orange hairy monster whose eyeballs are not attached to his body.
Yes.
He usually carries them in his hands over his head. I think it's the most hysterical thing. If he requires the use of both hands, he can carry them in his mouth.
Right. Oh, okay.
When he sleeps, he keeps his eyes in a glass of water.
Yeah. Why was that a thing?
It's like contact solution.
Oh, duh.
Right?
That makes sense.
Right? And I just thought of that on the spot. Not going to lie to you.
I forgot about that.
And a running gag in the series is that Crumb sometimes loses his eyeballs and has to get them back, once going so far as to make a fake head. Do you remember that? To keep him from losing the eyeballs, and you would put the...
Vaguely,
I'll pull up a picture. You'll remember.
Yeah.
Okay. So the Grumble, who you talked about before.
I loved him so much, which is the character you're not supposed to like at all.
Voiced by Greg Berger, a green-blue monster with 2 tufts of hair. I'm going to get a picture because this is worth it. A beard and a tail. Wears a belt around his waist and red pumps on each of his 4 feet.
Yeah.
He is known for his quick temper, harsh punishments, and keen awareness of the misbehavior of his students.
Oh my god.
Which is, just amazing.
It's such a dark
it really
comedy
is.
when I think
really
back
is.
to it. Like in this, I'm like, oh my god. Even the colors I remember being super drab and super dark.
Exactly. It's in that like dark filter.
Yeah.
It's not muted. Yep. Only a couple more. And I had to mention these characters because I felt like if I didn't,
you'd be remiss.
You would be upset. I didn't know this, but a character named Zimbo, if you remember, was a bee-like character who had like a chicken leg, 1 leg.
Oh my god!
You remember, and a human nose. You remember?
Oh my god!
That was Tim Curry.
What?
And I couldn't find any like clips online because once I saw that, I was like, oh my god, I gotta hear.
Was it really?
It was Tim Curry for the entire series, so for all 4 seasons.
Who else's voice did he do for a Nicktoon?
Oh, I have no idea.
If I'm not mistaken, he was the voice of Nigel Thornberry.
No.
I believe
I totally
so.
believe that.
Yeah.
I 100% believe that.
Nigel Thornberry.
And then just the last person I really wanted to touch on. Oh, actually, there's 2 more. One's a quick one, but this this is a really good one. Do you remember Simon the Monster Hunter? He was the main antagonist in the series.
Vaguely. Wasn't he like Van Helsing-esque?
Kind of. Yeah, exactly. So that was Jim Belushi? Had no idea.
Jim Belushi?
Jim Belushi.
Oh, okay. Jim Belushi.
Yeah.
Really?
Yep. So exactly like you remember him, wears a thick jacket and glasses, and he's determined to prove that the monsters exist and wants to exterminate them. So before becoming a monster hunter, he tried to capture Bigfoot and built a giant robot.
Oh. Ho-hum things before you get into
Normal.
the world of monster hunting.
And then my last guy, I think a bit of a surprise. This was a recurring character. I looked into him, couldn't find a lot about him. His name is Marty, and it was voiced by Thomas F. Wilson, who you may know as Biff from Back to the Future.
Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah. He was a recurring character on the show.
Really?
I wish I could find anything on this guy, but like every time I tried to look up in YouTube and anywhere else, it was the same like blurb about how it was Thomas F. Wilson.
It is amazing the number of folks that did voice work for some
sure.
of these, especially
Tim Curry totally makes sense.
Tim Curry does. For those, folks I think that aren't maybe as familiar, I think a decent amount are, but yeah. Nicktoons really was developed to be a much like edgier type of cartoon. And adding some of these folks in there totally made it as such. Like, I don't think, and I'm speculating, but like, I don't think you could pitch to Tim Curry maybe doing like well, I guess they did, but I don't know. There was just something about maybe the appeal or the draw of like, oh, I'm an adult. My kid is watching this stuff. Oh, hey, I recognize, that's the voice of Biff.
Definitely.
It's 1994. That movie is still kind of new, as opposed to now. That's like, I don't know why I'm drawing this juxtaposition. Do you remember that period where do you remember where they had the show Shining Time Station? I know it's not a Disney, it's not a Nickelodeon show.
No,
that was the show with Thomas, Shining Time Station, and
Thomas
the tank.
Okay,
and the little conductor. He was like a miniature-sized conductor. Was George Carlin.
Oh my God! Yeah, I actually know that.
That was called Shining Time Station, and Didi Khan. So like the chick from Greece.
Man, what
from,
a person to
Greece.
pick to be on a kids show.
Yeah. So like I think it's one of those ideas of like, oh, we add an adult character or actor, and sure, mom and dad will sit down and watch it as well.
I mean, and Tim Curry of all people. Let's go.
Oh, God, wherever you are, Tim, I hope you're doing all right.
Let's go.
I hope you're doing all right.
Yeah,
he's
a good friend of the show.
Good friend of the show, Tim. I love you.
Good old Timmy.
Miss you.
Timmy C.
I went for a show that was my favorite as a kid.
I can't freaking wait.
It was my favorite. It was my father's favorite, I believe.
Exactly what it is.
And I rewatched it not too long ago, and I am tempted to do so again.
Even if I didn't know what you were going to talk about, I would know what you were going to talk about.
Rocco's Modern Life.
Rocco's Modern Life.
Rocco's Modern Life. Who sang that?
It sounds like the B-52s.
Well done. They eventually went ahead and actually did the theme song for.
That's great.
I believe it was from the third season on. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Beforehand, it was just instrumentals.
Yeah, I guess.
So Rocco's Modern Life. For those folks that are not necessarily as familiar, it is the story of an Australian wallaby immigrant named Rocco. His friends, Heifer Wolf, not Heifer the Wolf, Heifer Wolf, Filbert, who was a turtle, his trusty dog,
Otto,
Spunky, and his neighbors, Ed and Bev Bighead.
The best characters.
On the show. So it was created by Joe Murray, who originally had created Rocco like as a comic book back in the 80s.
Oh.
Before adapting it for Nickelodeon. And its release in September of 1993.
Wow.
So it was a really early.
We were just wee little babies.
Wee little babies. We probably didn't watch it at the time.
Oh, 100%. At 3?
No, at 3, no. I'm speculating here. No. Well, by September of 93, you and I were very mature 3-year-olds, nearly on the cusp of 4.
Yeah.
We probably knew how to use the
44.
The remote at that point.
Oh, 100%.
Nickelodeon was channel 12, I remember distinctly.
I think it was 24 for me.
For you?
We're going to roll with it.
Okay. Yeah. So the show takes place in a town called O-Town, which is evidently near the Great Lakes.
Oh.
Who knew? Not me.
Not I, said the fly. So
they built in this idea of O-Town, places like
like Motown.
No, not actually.
No?
So they had places in the town that were called like Conglommo Corporation.
Right.
Kind of a Lotto Comics. And the reason why they would have like everything like, it would be like Suckomatic.
Right.
It was because of the fact that it was such a good one. That was initially going to be the pilot, but they changed it instead.
It was
going to be the pilot.
Oh, yes.
But the reason why they had done that was that like Joe Murray had thought that any such product or corporation that had like blank, he thought had like stripped the products of all of their individuality and then stressed this idea of volume. And he said he was like, what's more American than the idea of just volume and quantity more than anything.
Wow.
So like I said, so there were places in town, Conglommo Corporation. Do you remember what their slogan was? Talk about
buy more, make more?
No, close. This is why an entire generation of Americans our age are very confused or correct and trying to grapple with the choices of our parents. The slogan is called or was "We Own You."
Oh, yeah.
There was kind of a lot of comics. Like I said, it's a comic book store where Rocco had worked. And the favorite hangout of the friends. Do you remember name? No?
No.
In the last season, the place was called Chewy Chicken. Do you know what it was called beforehand?
Clucky. No.
The name of the place before was Chokey Chicken.
Chokey Chicken. So adult.
So Murray himself, again, Joe Murray, he was reluctant to go into TV. He had never worked with the medium before. But again, Nickelodeon was really new at the time and basically gave their staffs, like their show staff, like free range. Like, go for it. Whatever you want to do, go and do.
Damn, really?
Yeah, yes. They were very, very big into that.
I had no idea that. Like, I knew they were a little edgier just because, like, I observe. But, I didn't know that was a plan.
There's a really good... I mean, I had watched it maybe a couple months ago, about a year ago. But if you get the chance, I highly recommend. There is a documentary that is called, like, The Original Orange or something along those lines on Hulu that does kind of talk about, like, the origin of Nickelodeon and then starting up. It's a quick, view, super lighthearted. I would definitely suggest it because it is one of those things where it's like, wow, children's programming sucked prior to Nickelodeon.
Yeah,
100%.
We had a good man.
Yeah, we definitely did.
Yeah.
So, like I said, Murray was new to this and new to TV and actually came up with the look for Rocco because he had gone to go visit a zoo and had seen a wallaby that seemed like he was confused and just kind of like, with the surrounding chaos. So I thought about this idea of what it would be like for a wallaby to have to immigrate to the U.S. and,
that's great.
Make his way around. It was a big hit for, again, Nicktoons, and they tried to appeal to a wider demographic, as we had said. In fact, at the time of the original run, more than a fifth of the audience happened to be of adult age, so like over the age of 18.
I believe that.
And there were innuendos plenty. So in one episode, it is implied that Rocco was working for a phone sex line. All right. I don't know if you remember that one.
Oh, sure do.
There was, classically the line, he picks up the phone, oh, baby, oh, baby, oh, baby. To which it's Mrs. Bighead.
Mrs. Bighead, yeah.
Rocco. Mrs. Bighead? But what I didn't know was that in the background of the scene, and I started to actually go and watch some of these episodes, in the background of the scene, there's a wall, a sign on the wall that just says, be hot, be naughty, and be curious, courteous.
Oh, my God.
Which is so fucking good.
Yes.
In another episode, Heifer falls asleep in a barn, like in a dairy barn, I guess.
Oh, I feel like I remember this.
So there's a milking machine that he's like hooked up to. And you can see that he gets pleasure from this. So apparently when the writers,
I vaguely remember
and
this.
you would only see it from like his face up, like you never actually saw, any contraption attached to him. So what had happened was that apparently when the writers and the animators had done this, like they did it and they had thought to themselves, they're like, we know, we just want to draw it, whatever. We know that they're going to come back and say like, do away with that. The note that they had gotten, they were like, originally Heifer's eyes turned into like hearts as this was happening. And the only note that they got back, they're like, could you make the hearts stars instead? And they were like, yeah, sure. Gotcha. So they went ahead and they did that instead. They cut out some of these scenes for a little bit during like syndication and then, it add them back in. So again, it was so successful that, so like I said, it premiered in September of 93. By January of 94, the audience had increased 65%. So it was the network's highest rated launch. The series had actually even won an award, an Environmental Media Award in 1996 for their episode Zanzibar, which was a musical episode. You might remember. I feel like
I remember that.
It was focused on environmentalism, pollution, and deforestation.
100%.
The second I read it.
Great freaking episode.
Second I read it, I was like, because Rocco and the rest of them were really not featured.
City Hall, right?
Oh my God.
Right. Yes. It's so good.
That's exactly what it is.
Yeah.
Wow.
Great.
Wow.
Oh, man, great episode.
So very similar though to why did I just forget? Real Monsters. Only 54 episodes were initially produced of this.
That's weird.
But again, success wasn't very far behind, for those folks. A lot of them actually regrouped after the show's initial cancellation and wound up, a lot of them worked on and started up SpongeBob. So like guy by the name of Mr. Lawrence, that's his name. And he's from New Jersey. So he had gone ahead and he was the voice of Filbert. He later went on to be the voice of Plankton. Tom Kenny was the voice of Heifer and then went on to be the voice of SpongeBob. You had Carlos Alazarki. I always pronounce his name wrong, and I feel like such a terrible person. He was the voice of Rocco, but then he did a number of voices then for like Cat Dog, and my personal favorite, he was one of the original officers on Reno 911.
Oh, really?
Yeah. If you saw him, you would recognize him, and he does so many character voices. He has a mustache. Yeah, he's the one that's usually really close friends with the black actor on the show who does a whole bunch of like voice acting now also. If you saw him, you'd recognize him. I'll show you a picture later. And of course, Charlie Adler, whom you had mentioned,
we just talked about,
who's also from New Jersey. Bitches.
Whoa, what?
Oh my God. I almost just swallowed the microphone. I got a little too close. And he did the voice of Ed and Bev Bighead, the greatest characters.
Fantastic.
Rocco.
He was the boss at Conglomerates Corp, right?
No, he wasn't. The boss at Conglomerates Corp.
Well, not the boss. He was
like a cog.
He was like a
middle manager.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because they had the two guys that were the two like.
Oh, that's right.
Yep, you got to go ahead and do the work. Loved it. Love it. You can't say hell.
What
H-E double hockey stick. There are children watching.
Lick a finger. And you turn the page.
And you turn the page. Lick a finger. I couldn't find anything really about Dr. Hutchison, who was a dentist with the hook.
With the hook.
We're going to go ahead and do it, Kay. Love it.
She had the best lines.
So good.
In that show.
So good.
Oh my God.
And just the fact that, and I just want to double down on this idea that
can't stop talking about Rocco.
Heifer Wolf was a cow that was adopted by a family of wolves. And that's genius.
I totally forgot.
I'll fight anybody that wants to tell me otherwise. That is the most genius idea in the world.
Yeah.
Oh God.
Yeah. No,
so good.
That's really funny. I forgot about Heifer's mom.
God. Oh yes.
Yeah.
She was grinding her teeth.
That was a great episode.
So good.
Okay. Another super solid favorite of mine.
Yeah.
You said you haven't seen any. Was Danny Phantom.
Yeah.
Haven't seen any.
None.
Okay. Aired on April 3rd, 2004. So we were 14.
Okay, yeah. So we were a little bit older.
Just glistening eyes of freshmen at April 3rd, 2004. Another weird number of episodes, 53 episodes over 3 seasons. Seems to be a
well,
number.
It makes sense with the number of episodes per season.
You would think, because
although actually no, my
last one was like 13 and yours was
per season. I don't know, but I think it had 4 seasons technically.
Okay. This one was 2020 and then 13.
Oh, okay.
Across 3 seasons.
I
don't know. It's probably not important, but anyway. The finale aired on the 9th of October, 2006. This was...
Oh, it's only 2 years.
Yeah. Well, 3... Yeah.
3... Oh, okay.
Yep. Yeah. It was created by Butch Hartman. The music was by Guy Moon. And I would say some of the music on the show was phenomenal. So the series follows teenager Danny Fenton and his adventures after an accident with an unpredictable portal between the human world and the ghost zone. Super
common.
So after this, he becomes a human ghost hybrid.
Oh.
And he takes it upon himself to save his town and the world from the preceding ghost attacks. So his parents are ghost hunters, essentially. And they're actually like really good ghost hunters, but they just don't know it because their son is always like kicking the ass at the ghost. But they're very good at like detecting ghosts, but like something always goes wrong. So anyway, his mom and dad, Jack and Maddie, as he grows and evolves as this like ghost human hybrid, we see like different abilities, more powerful abilities and techniques. He starts to learn different things. He's aided in this quest by his best friends, Sam Manson, which is a great name for a girl.
It is.
And Tucker Foley.
Oh.
The token ethnic kid on the show.
Okay.
I guess. I mean, just by,
okay,
cartoon standards, I guess.
What's his name again?
Tucker Foley.
Tucker Foley.
I think it's a great name. You don't like Tucker?
Oh, no.
Or is it Foley?
Oh, no, it's a Tucker part. No, it's a Tucker part.
Okay.
Tucker is the kid that puts something in your daughter's drink at a party. What happened to you? No, you're not going to a party.
I thought that was Chad.
No, it's Tucker.
Oh, okay.
Oh, because Tucker drove with Chad.
Oh, Tucker's Chad's DD.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah, that tracks.
100%.
That tracks. New incoming freshman Tucker.
Yes.
Who's trying to apply, be a part of this frat.
Exactly.
And Chad makes
exactly.
him drive,
He's new over at UDEL. He wants to get in. He's doing whatever he's got to do.
Froshy's got to drive the upperclassmen.
Exactly.
Right. Naturally.
Now that we've gone ahead and we've nailed down Tucker. Very accurately, might I say. The amount of Sperry's and things that he's got that are salmon colored.
Sperry's, no socks.
No socks.
No socks.
No socks.
Cream white woven shorts.
Oh God, yes. Yes, just crushes White Claw.
And
Crushes White Claw.
And sometimes the American flag bandana just pushing back the locks so slightly.
Oh God, yes. Yes. So
Tucker Foley.
Oh my God. Tucker Foley.
Tucker Foley's one of his best friends, and later on in the show, his older sister Jasmine, helps him out. So these other 3 characters in the show are the only 3 who know about his double life as Danny Phantom.
Do we know? I'm sorry. Do we know his real name? Did you say
it's Danny Fenton?
Oh, I'm so sorry. I apologize.
Close.
Yeah, it's very close that I missed it. I'm sorry.
Yeah. So in the show, it's like a hysterical ongoing joke that his parents have no idea about him being a ghost.
Yeah.
And they would hunt him down and kill him if they did.
Right.
But he's always there to help them get out of the problems that they typically cause, because they're the ones that let all the ghosts out into the world anyway. That original accident that had him go through the gate and turn into a ghost is what opened the gate and allowed all these other ghosts out.
Like being a firefighter and an arsonist.
Kind of.
Okay.
Yeah, you're an enabler, and you're the American government caused the problem,
I was just gonna say, I'm
gonna
gonna
make people pay for the excuse.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
beautiful.
Yeah,
Thank you.
It's right there.
Yeah.
Well
done.
That's fine. So this is really interesting. Throughout its run, Danny Phantom, do you know what an Annie Award is?
Yes.
They've received nominations for 5 Annie Awards. In recent years, it has garnered renewed attention and critical acclaim from critics and audiences. Most even claim that this is the pinnacle of Butch Hartman's work.
Really?
And on top of that, there has been a campaign to revive Danny Phantom. So in the show, before he would turn, do you remember in Fantastic Four? Flame on.
Oh, yeah.
Right? Okay. So Danny Phantom would say, "Going Ghost," or "Go Ghost." Like that was his catchphrase.
Yeah.
So the name of this campaign to revive Danny Phantom is called the Go Ghost Again movement.
Oh, it's so good.
And it even goes as far as there's a petition on change.org with thousands of signatures to bring the show back.
That's even better.
100% agree. One of my all-time favorite Nicktoons.
I'm going to have to go. You know what? I will investigate.
So worth the watch, because that show, even though it's, I would say, not as suggestive as Rocco,
Yeah.
there are adult jokes aplenty.
Okay.
I would maybe even more so than like you would expect.
Really?
Yeah.
I'll accept that.
Yep.
Cool.
Good. That's a good one.
I'm going to go back to some of the more suggestive ones, if anything.
Sure.
Angry Beavers. Oh, man. Angry Beavers.
That actually might be my all-time favorite Nicktoon.
It is such a classic. Yeah. I think one of the last of the kind of OG, if you will.
Like hardcore comedy.
Hardcore.
I would call that hardcore animation.
Yes. 100%.
Yeah.
So it was created by Mitch, Schauer, and first premiered in April of 1997. Okay. So it's the story of brothers Daggett and Norbert Beaver, who had left their parents' house to a bachelor dam in a forest near a place that they called Way Out of Town, Oregon.
Right.
So the story was actually pitched to Nickelodeon as one of 3 ideas, and Mitch actually wasn't there during the pitch to begin with. And this was the one that the producers were most curious about. He had said that one of them was about a man-eating house, and another one he couldn't remember. But for some reason, this is what they became most curious about. And apparently the idea had come from a period when he was homeless in Oklahoma and would often see beavers down by the river. I don't know.
Whatever. Hey, whatever gets it going.
But what had happened was that he wanted it to make sure that the beavers were presented as ill-tempered, politically incorrect, hating any sort of fad or trend, and also was really against the idea of the beavers being drawn as being cute. He didn't want. He was always
they definitely were not cute.
No, they weren't. But if you look at beavers, when they're wet and they're not really cute.
No.
They're scraggly looking things. They're
Agreed.
they're not like a gopher. Gophers are cute. Gophers are adorable.
Yeah. Raccoons are cute.
Raccoons are adorable.
Yeah. You ever see a baby raccoon? Goddamn, make your heart melt.
Little. Yeah. I don't know what the name of that is.
A little.
Baby raccoons. Duh. Anywho, as production then began and went on, the team became more aware of actual real live beavers and started to incorporate some of those characteristics into the show itself, such as so a beaver's incisors are constantly growing. That's why they chew and gnaw on things. So they built that into the story. Tail slapping, how they'll, beavers, they
that
built
I knew.
that in, as well as having to address and deal with their scent glands. They had built that.
There was definitely an episode about that.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
They had built that in there as well. So this was a period, and this is why I said, that I think that it's one of the last really good ones. This was a period of change at Nickelodeon, and as a result, there were some pretty strong clashes that were starting between some of the artists and then the higher ups.
Oh,
so the then president of the network was a guy by the name of Herb Scannell, and if I'm not pronouncing it right, suck it, Scannell.
go suck a lemon.
He was a bit of a tight ass. Okay. And so, for example, he would forbid any of the shows to have the dialogue or dialogue that included "shut up," because he didn't like hearing kids say it and thought that if kids didn't hear it, then they wouldn't say it.
Sure.
To which one of the artists had turned around to him and said, "That's not the way the world works."
Nope.
Which is
not.
genius. So if you actually go back and watch the episode, They had already recorded it, and you can see that he starts to mouth like shh, but instead they changed it to like hush up instead. It's a really like rough edit. He also had a period, this was a period where there was a what was referred to kind of like as a quote unquote non-drag policy that was put in place where characters had to wear like gender conforming clothes so as to quote unquote like not confuse kids.
This guy.
Oh, right. Like my first initial thought was they're fucking beavers.
Yeah.
They don't wear clothes
Nope.
to begin with.
There are no gender roles.
So who gives, like, you gotta be kidding me right now. So as a result then, like the team began to push the upper brass more and more because they were like, they're going to cancel us. So like, screw it. We'll just do whatever we have to do. So, you know how each episode was always broken up into two, you know, there were two like two shorts. So the last one was to be called Bye Bye Beavers. The first one was supposed to be like something having to do with like rangers, forest rangers. And then the last half was going to be, again, Bye Bye Beavers. And during which, in that episode, Daggett and Norbert would receive letters that the show was being canceled.
Why do I feel like I remember this?
You definitely...
It didn't happen.
Once they get those letters, they start to grapple with their existence as cartoon characters and like coming to this realization that they're not real, during which they criticize the network and the whole idea of the network canceling shows and putting them into syndication. Because for those folks that don't know, with syndication, with cartoons, even when those episodes rerun,
that's it.
The artists, none of the producers, none of the writers don't get residuals.
Oh, wait, I didn't know that.
When it's a live action, you do. When it's a cartoon, they don't.
Wow.
So they had made fun of that, and then they were to be kind of like, quote unquote, killed off into cartoon heavens. So what was supposed to happen was that throughout the course of the episode, it was supposed to start in full color, and then slowly they stripped it away until they just became like the like scratch outlines like of what a cartoon originally starts off as, and was supposed to undo it. Needless to say, despite the fact that production had already began, it wasn't completed and now only exists as like leaked storyboards and audio from the voice actors, which
I need to see that.
I've got it like up, and I'll send it over to you. I'll post it up for you guys to check out too. It is the coolest thing to hear the voice actors, you know, as again Daggett and Norbert, criticize so openly.
Yeah, just
like
to start ripping everyone.
Like one of the last lines, I believe, from from Daggett was like, you know, there's one thing I've always wanted to tell you. Shut up.
Yes.
And then at the end, you know, they try to claim like, oh, and one more thing, like April Fools, like try to kind of like gloss over it all, but they knew that it was like the end of it. So,
damn.
Such an amazing
You know, whenever
show.
I think of that show, I think of two episodes vividly. And the one, I feel like it's either a tick or a flea. And they were drinking energy drinks, or am I confusing episodes?
No, I don't think so, because the drink was Yahoo, I believe is what it was. It was called Yahoo.
Yahoo.
Yeah.
Yep.
I just remembered that they had a big giant bear that was like Barry White, where he had this big kind of, what's it called? I'm a dagadoo. What's the matter, my dagadoo? A little bit of a dagadoo.
It was Barry White.
Yeah.
It pretty much
I think it pretty much was. I should probably actually look it up, but yeah. Love it.
Okay. Before I get into my last absolute favorite, Nicktoon.
Yeah.
I want an honorable mention for us. Yeah, sad music because we didn't talk about them enough.
Excuse me. Oh God.
Man, maybe we'll talk about the band another time.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna sound off, and you stop me when you want to talk about one of them. Okay.
Okay.
Rocket Power. Doug. Yeah.
You know I love Doug.
Yeah.
So much.
Cat Dog. Okay. Ren and Stimpy.
Yeah, I love Ren and Stimpy too.
Right. Rugrats.
Ugh, worst out of them all.
Hey
Hate 'em.
Arnold. That was voted number 1, by the way, on a top 25.
I know Rugrats.
Rugrats was voted
yeah,
top
I
25.
believe it.
Hey Arnold.
I love Hey Arnold so much.
As told by Ginger.
Oh my god, I
remember that
forgot
one?
about that show. Yeah.
The Fairly Odd Parents.
I do like Fairly Odd Parents. That was a fun one.
Really good one. Jorgen von Strangle, really good one.
Oh yes.
Jimmy Neutron, Boy Genius. The Adventures of.
I wasn't a big fan.
Okay, I really liked the Jimmy Neutron, Fairly Odd Parents crossover.
Yes.
That
yes.
was cool. Invader Zim.
Oh, I don't think I ever really
No?
watched that either.
Okay, that's a pretty interesting one too. This one is a given. SpongeBob. We talked about it
I
already.
do love. You know what?
It's a classic.
I think I hated it for a period and then went back and I was like, this is such a great show.
Something I didn't do, which I wanted to talk about and forgot. There was a study that came out, and I'm going to go back over this. Or maybe I'll even
Put it together.
party foul it.
Okay.
But there was a study that came out that people who watched SpongeBob lost brain cells. Like
No.
SpongeBob animation actually made people dumber.
Really?
Yeah, I'm going to go back and look it up. We'll do it in another episode. How about, I hope you remember this one. Chalk Zone.
Wasn't that part of Kablam?
Was it? It may have been. Do you remember this dude from Chalk Zone?
God.
So the premise was anything ever drawn on a blackboard was in Chalk Zone
Yes.
after it was erased.
Whoa.
Yeah, great show and really out of the box too.
That was a cool. Yeah, that
You might
was
be right.
a
Maybe it
cool-
was part of Kablam.
I no. Now that I
No?
see it, no. Although Kablam.
But also, two down the list, Kablam.
Kablam. Love it.
How about, I don't know if you ever watched this one, My Life as a Teenage Robot.
I'm familiar with the title, but I
Okay.
think I stopped watching kind of Nickelodeon around
Man,
that
Kablam.
time. Kablam was so good.
You want to talk? I went back and watched the intro for that.
Did you
And
really?
that music is nostalgic.
Oh, same thing with
Yeah.
the second that I put on the Angry Beavers.
Oh yeah,
like same
that's
thing.
it.
Oh, you see, I didn't. Oh my god,
love
I
that.
didn't know it until I heard it, and I was like, oh my god, that's right. It was like a 1960s like
Yeah,
ditty.
I think I have one that's finally going to surprise you because we forgot about it. Well, actually, we talked about it already. The Wild Thornberries.
Oh, love the Wild Thornberries.
Were also
Such
great.
a good.
Whenever I think about that show, I always think about capybaras.
Oh, yes.
Always, because that's what Nigel talks about. The
Yes.
capybara.
Eliza.
That's a good Nigel Thornberry.
Oh my god.
Okay, and last but not least, my absolute favorite Nicktoon of all time, Avatar: The Last Airbender.
Yeah, you brought this up to me, and I
Okay.
had never heard of it.
I'm gonna sell it to you.
Okay.
I'm gonna sell it to you so you can go home and watch it, because this show is not watched enough. It is a story about growth. It's a story about coming of age, about friendship, love, and loss.
How much money do you have sunk into Avatar at this point?
Not enough. Here we go. Aang, that's his name.
Yeah.
Aang, A-A-N-G. The Avatar is discovered 100 years after being frozen solid in a block of ice by brother and sister of the Southern Water Tribe, Sokka and Katara.
Oh my god. You've got to really sell this to me.
I did this off the top of my head. by
Oh,
the
you
way.
did?
No,
Oh,
no
you know
looking
what?
up.
Okay.
So, in this show, the main plot point are people called benders. So benders are humans or animals gifted with the ability to manipulate the elements to their will.
Okay.
So there are water benders, earth benders, fire benders, and air benders. I'm listening.
The only reason why I'm laughing the way I am is
I don't care.
no, I know.
Okay, good.
I know. It's the fact that, I love my English television and whatnot.
Yeah.
So to refer to someone as a bender is slang for calling someone gay, to like refer to someone as a bender. So the fact that you just said you're like, it revolves around benders. And I'm like,
I never heard that.
yeah, to call someone a
Okay.
bender. Yeah.
Fair enough. Not in that
No.
sort of word. Okay.
I was going to say, wow, Nickelodeon really got cheeky.
Yeah, for real. Well, listen, in the beginning of the show, it was thought that all airbenders were extinct. Essentially, the Fire Nation committed like a mass genocide during the passing of a comet and extinguished the entire airbender race, except for Aang. Aang survived because he fled in fear of responsibility after finding out he was the next in cycle to become the Avatar.
Oh.
Then a whole bunch of awesome stuff happens. And again, I'm not going to explain it to you guys because I'm not going to do it any justice. But seriously, go watch this show because, man, like the life lessons, the writing,
Yeah.
actually overall the writing, and then just like the animation. The animation is a lot of fun.
You know what? I will make this promise to you. By the next time we get together, we will have an Avatar update. And I will give you at least some of my initial thoughts on Avatar.
You're gonna love it.
I hope so.
You're gonna love it.
I hope so, because it's been a long time since I've watched a Nicktoon.
Those are short too. They're like 20. Yeah, they're like 22 minutes or something like that on Netflix.
I will gladly go for it. I'm probably gonna have to go back and watch some other ones as well.
Oh, for sure.
I'm gonna have to.
I saw.
The fact that we didn't do Doug.
I know.
All, which
I really did think
to
about
this
it.
day, when Danny and I go camping, if we're separated from one another, like we've already made camp or whatever, if we're separated from one another, I will hear him go, "Kalukukoo." Nematode.
The nematode, yes.
Nematode.
We could do, like, honestly, a whole episode about the beats. I could do a whole episode about the beats.
Love the beats.
Yeah.
Gotta rock 'em, gotta roll 'em, gotta shout your lungs out.
But yeah, definitely watch Avatar. I promise you won't regret it. It's like 3 seasons. There's a lot of episodes.
Yeah?
They really build a story.
It's on Netflix, I believe, at this point.
It's on
no?
Netflix.
Yeah?
It's actually not too long ago, maybe like a month ago. It was like top 5.
I was going to say, no,
it
it always does pop up.
Yeah.
And if I'm not mistaken, some of my students had even like mentioned it to me in the past. And
They did it. Oh, sorry.
No, I was going to say, and I think I just always kind of like
Nah,
rejected
don't brush it aside. It's not like normal anime cartoon. And they also did a sequel to it. They did an entire other series about the next Avatar. So like in the show, you know, like I said, earth, fire, water, air. So there's a nation for each element, and it cycles through. So I forget what the cycle is, but like 1, 1, 1, 1, then it starts over.
All right, I'll
pretty
bite.
good.
I'll bite. If this suggestion is even half as good as this beer was today, I'm going to be satisfied.
This was really good. I'm very happy that there's more in the fridge. I was very close to getting up while you were talking and getting another one and just pouring it in our
man.
glasses.
Well, now we've wasted it. We've wasted it.
Then it's not wasted.
No, it's not.
No.
Nope.
We will have it.
We will have
I'll send you home with one.
Thanks, buddy.
Anything for you, pal.
Appreciate you.
Appreciate you.
Appreciate you.
You guys have a great weekend. Everyone, go give some love to your mothers.
Yes. Or actually, no. That's past already.
Mother's Day?
By the time this goes out.
Oh,
yeah.
Well,
so hope you all love your
past
mothers.
You to go love your mother and.
Yeah, your mother lovers.
Yeah,
I love my mom.
I'm okay with that. See ya.
Goodbye.